Peoples, what is going on? I am Finesse, and today we're going to be talking about some stuff that I've had on my mind for the last couple of weeks. All right. All right, like I said, today's video is going to be about some thoughts that I've had for this last couple of weeks. But before we get into that, this past weekend, Indian Motorcycle of Savannah Motorsports, had their annual event for Indian Motorcycle. This year was the 8th annual event, and part of that event was a motorcycle and slingshot show. But just to give you guys a little caveat, I did start the day with all intentions of getting you guys some footage of the show and, you know, all the bikes and everything else. But I was a judge, and me being a judge, basically the entire time I was there, I was, you know, looking at bikes and doing my judge duties. So unfortunately, I did not get any video of the show. But I did get some video because we had some returning subscribers out there, as well as meeting some new folks. And then there was a vendor in particular that was out there that kind of stood out to me. And I did get the chance to talk to them. All right, so in doing so, this first clip that you're going to see is going to be me with a subscriber. He goes by the name Road Dog. But, you know, I don't want to do too much. I'll let the video do the talking. All right. All right, y'all. So we are down here at the Indian Motorcycle Savannah at the motorcycle show. We just concluded the motorcycle show. Man, say that a few times quick. But Road Dog, it was one of my previous videos when I was down here. He was doing some work. He stopped through, said what's up. So he came back up here, and he had his bike with him. So of course we got to get him on here with his bike. So let's check him out. All right, Road Dog, man. Hey, tell us about the bike, man.
What's up, everybody? This is just my Striker Red 23 Indian Pursuit. Haven't got too much done to it yet. Of course, got a whole lot of plans. The biggest thing right now is the handlebars by FMB Chopper. They're hell bent, ape hangers.
Nice.
An inch and a half.
Okay.
So yeah, but definitely big things coming in the future.
All right.
Her name is Lady Red.
Lady Red. Okay, all right. We got a name. You got the old get back whip on there. Look at that thing.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep.
Oh, then you got some little skull heads there.
Very easy to do. These is just I got this idea from license plates. They're just license plate bolts.
Nice. There you go, man. That's all right. You learn something new every day.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, all right, man. Hey, man, beautiful bike. I love these red bikes.
Yeah, man.
That just looks so good. And, of course, it was good seeing you again.
Exactly.
That's it. Hey, man, hit that road, man. Stay safe.
All right, you too, man.
Yeah,
all right, now take it easy.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Finesse the man.
Yeah. All right, so that was Road Dog. Very nice Pursuit, man. I love those red colors, or the red color that Indian Motorcycle put out on that Pursuit, man. It was just gorgeous. So that was at the tail end of the show. So in the background, you saw a few bikes back there because everybody, they were already leaving and stuff. But like I said, there was a vendor out there that stood out to me, and they do some really good work. I'm going to have the description. I'm going to have the link to their website in the description below. But at any rate, man, check these guys out. All right, everybody. So we're here at the Indian Motorcycle show that they just put on for the anniversary event. One of the vendors that's out here, as you can see right here in front of us, this is beautiful looking Gixxer. It was wrapped by the company here, with Primal Graphics company. So I have
Marcus,
and Luani, and they're going to tell us about Primal.
Yeah, well, we're a small veteran-owned company in Bluffton, South Carolina. We just finished our first year this year, so we're super happy about that. My wife and I just decided to plant roots here, and wrapping stuff is what we love.
Yeah, so I mean, so we've been doing this graphic design for the past, I don't know how many, 15, 20 years. And then, you know, once we settled here, we decided to kind of expand our branches, and, you know, that's why, you know, yeah, this is where we're at now. From South Carolina, now stretching out to Georgia, and you know, we'll keep going, so.
Yeah, like I told you before, you know, I was a contractor, and she just retired from the Navy. And yeah, I mean, this seemed like the logical choice for us, and it's
thank you for your
been
service.
taken off. So
yeah.
Yep.
All right. So I mean, like I said, you guys came away with a trophy today, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So Lauren, you know, reached out to us and Will, and they gave us the opportunity to set something up here. The wind is crazy, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they gave us an opportunity to work with an awesome canvas. It's a brand new 23 Gixxer 1000. And she gave us some input, and yeah, we just kind of did what we do and did something cool. This is a chrome base with a metallic metal flake laminate. So
nice. All right. And if anybody's looking to get some work done, I mean, do you do anything other than bikes, and how can they contact you?
Yeah, we do. We do cars, we do business signage, anything that you really need to brand your business. And you can reach us at primalxonline.com, or check out our Facebook page on Instagram under Primal Graphics Co.
Oh, awesome, awesome. All right. Cool. Well, hey, guys, right there, man. Primal Graphics. Check these guys out. See what they can do for you. And as always, man, ride every day. And most importantly, make sure you're enjoying it. Peace.
Oh,
all right.
Appreciate you, man.
Nice to meet you. Nice. All right. So obviously I had ended the video there because that was the end of the day, and I was going to do some chopping up, but that didn't happen. Simply because once the day was over, I realized I didn't capture any of the other footage. So here we are, right? Yeah, you got to be able to pivot, right? Anyway, so checking out that Gixxer they had out there, man, they did a phenomenal job with the wrap on that. All right, so that was Primal Graphics. Definitely get on their website, check them out. Like he said, like the owner said there, that, you know, there's a veteran-owned business. And that is just absolutely amazing. For some reason, man, when I looked over there, I knew there was something up with them. So it turns out that they're veteran-owned businesses, and I love me a veteran-owned business now. But definitely, like I said, definitely check them out. So as the show was ending, people were still coming in and out, back and forth, and lo and behold, the owner of the 23 Indian Challenger Elite showed up to the dealership. Now, I was sticking around to try and get, to get an interview and talk to her about her bike and, you know, what the things that she's done and all that. She was coming up there on some, to handle some business, and I did not get a chance to talk to her while she was there. But of course I did take some video, which I'll put here on the screen. Man, that bike is just absolutely gorgeous. Man. I tell you, they really do their thing when it comes to these Elites. All right, so since we are talking about these Elites, let's check out the Indian Motorcycle website and what they have so far with the Elites. All right, looking at the Indian Motorcycle website, we'll just come over here to motorcycles, go to Elite, and then right here you're going to have your Pursuit Elite, your Chieftain Elite, the Challenger Elite, and your Roadmaster Elite. That's the new addition to the Elite family for this year, for the 2024 year model. And if you look at these two bikes, the 24 Challenger Elite and the 24 Roadmaster Elite, while they're not the same, they do have the same-ish color scheme. All right, and I like that because it's like they match, but without being too on the nose, right? So the Challenger's got red wheels. It's got this acid stripe. However, the Roadmaster's got this red, two-tone red with some black, and then you've got gold accents around it. The same thing when you're looking at the Pursuit Elite and the Chieftain Elite. They had this bronze and gray with their similarities. So, you know, I think if they were to do all four of these in the same color scheme, you know, the same colors, to denote that it's the 2024 year model for the Elites. I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think that is a more cohesive way of looking at the Elite lineup. And, you know, it could change from year to year. All right. But anyway, just looking here at this Roadmaster Elite, let's pull this up. So you get a nice splash page. You get some imagery from the video that they put out when the motorcycle was released. And then we're coming down here, looking at the price. It's at $41,999. Weighs in at 900 pounds. And you're using the 116 engine. All right. So, like I said before, they have similar features as far as color. They both have this black candy. So black candy seems to be the theme for this year's Elite lineup. Hopefully that continues on with the Pursuit and the Chieftain. Now, they could just be going a different route. It could just be a coincidence. I don't know. But like I said, if these motorcycles were to match, it would give, based on the year model, it would give a more cohesive design to the Elite lineup, at least in my opinion. All right. So looking at this bike, one of the things that really stood out to me that you may or may not have noticed was these armrests. Now, previous to this motorcycle coming out, these armrests only came in chrome. All right. So if we were to come up here to parts and accessories, we'll shop all accessories. We'll go to seats and backrest. And here you go to armrest. So here you're going to find that the armrest, now you can get it in black or the chrome. Okay. So if you are on a Chieftain or you're on a Pursuit and you wanted to add the armrest to your motorcycle and you have the Dark Horse version of it, you now have that option to have the black armrests on your motorcycle. All right. All right. So I've been asked the question as far as the Elites go, like, what do you get in the Elite that you don't get in the other models? All right. So if we go back to the website here, we're going to go back to the Elite. We'll go back to the, we'll do the Roadmaster since this is the new kid on the block. All right. So when you're looking at this Roadmaster, when you're looking at the Elite lineup of motorcycles, you're getting a paint job, right? You're getting a special paint job. These motorcycles are all hand painted. So Indian Motorcycle outsources to a company. I don't know if it's the same one over and over. It could be different depending on what year, contracts and all that, right? So, but they do outsource a company, and that company will hand paint all of the units for this release. And on top of that, you are getting a limited number of motorcycles. So for the Roadmaster, you're getting 350 units, and that is worldwide. If they do this like they did previous versions of the Elites, then 200 of these motorcycles will be sold in the U.S. The other remaining 150, those will go worldwide, giving worldwide customers an opportunity to purchase one of these motorcycles. So what you're getting when you get an Elite is exclusivity, right? Because 9 times out of 10, wherever you are, wherever your location is, it could possibly even be a state, depending on how big your state is. But more than likely, you're going to have the only one in that area. And the chances of you seeing more than one Elite in one city or one location is going to be slim to none, unless you're going to end up at like a motorcycle rally or something like that, right? Where a bunch of people are coming together in one location. Then you're probably going to see more than one, at any given time. When it's exclusive, it's really, it's truly exclusive. And I love that they do that for the customers, giving you a very exclusive bike that stands out among the rest. Now, a debate can be made of, what options you're getting along with that exclusivity. That could be something that's up for debate. But for what you're getting and the price point that you're getting it at, I think it's really awesome. and I definitely have my eye out for an Elite. I'm really looking forward to the rest of the lineup for this year, and also looking forward into next year. But we'll get into that here in a bit. So also with that, just like I showed you guys with the armrest, if the Elites come out with something for that, special to the Elite, you're able to get that on the models that you have now. So assuming you're in the same body style and year model, well, I mean, assuming you're in the same body style, okay, so the 20 to 24, right? You're going to be able to use those parts on your bike. So, if something comes out for the Elites and you like that piece, or you like that part, or you like how it looks, or whatever the case may be, you can still get that and put that on your motorcycle, and it's going to fit perfectly. So Indian Motorcycle does not limit you into getting these parts, right? The piece that's going to be limiting is going to be that paint job. And not to mention, for the 2024 year model, they began numbering the bikes. So like Mrs. Finesse, her Challenger, she's got number 17. And then it has it right there on the tank console, 17 of 250 or 350 or whatever the case may be. And that is just cool. And some people, I've had people tell me, oh, well, numbering, that's just, whatever. That's not a big deal. But I think it really is, because every time I talk to somebody that has an Elite and it's a numbered Elite, they say, oh yeah, I've got Elite. I got number, 25, number 15, number 73, so on and so forth. So, people on the outset, if you want to deny it, you can, but whatever. But I think the numbering of the Elites was a much needed upgrade from Indian Motorcycle, and that is just phenomenal. These bikes just look so good. So the Roadmaster Elites, they haven't shipped yet. I want to say it's like next month. I could be wrong. I want to say it's like next month though, sometime is when these are planned to go out. I want to say it said spring or something like that. But I will really be looking forward to seeing this bike in person. I believe Savannah Motorsports is getting one. So if they end up getting one, then I'm definitely going to go down there and check it out. Or if there's somewhere close like Macon or Florida or somewhere else, I'll make that trip. But like I said, I really love how Indian Motorcycle does their red paints, and I imagine that this bike is going to be no different. I was asked a question if I was going to be doing a comparison video between the 2024 Indian Motorcycle Challenger and the 2024 Harley-Davidson Road Glide. Short answer is yes. I am still doing some research, and part of that research is comparing the pricing, which I'm going to do right now. So when we're looking at the Harley-Davidson Road Glide and the Indian Motorcycle Challenger, what I'm looking at just from this part of my research is just what you're getting as far as your value, and where that I guess kind of where that money is going to. All right, so let's take a look at these two bikes. Now, on the left here, I have the 2024 Indian Motorcycle Challenger, and on the right, I have the 2024 Harley-Davidson Road Glide. We're looking down here at the price. You're getting $26,499. The Road Glide is at $25,999. All right. So for the base versions of both of these bikes, the Harley-Davidson is $500 less. And the way these bikes are configured, I mean, I guess I could see that. On this side, one could argue that you're getting 122 horsepower. And you're getting the upside down forks in the front. You're getting the Brembo branded brakes. And you're getting this automatic windshield. All right. And then when you're looking at the Harley Davidson, you still have the standard forks on here. You've got the Harley branded brakes. Now, I've been told by different sources that those brakes are, Harley Davidson brakes. Some say that they're Brembo brakes. The most important thing is that they stop. They do stop you. So that is what it is. All right. But at least for Indian Motorcycle, they have them stamped on there, so but here you don't know. You're getting a nice large infotainment, their new infotainment. They've got redesigned tail lights here. And then you're getting the 117. So however much power the 117 has stock, I don't know what that is. And you're getting your LED lighting. All right. Well, and you also get engine guards as well on the Harley Davidson. Whereas the base model Challenger, you don't get the engine guards. So interesting. All right. Now that is the base versions of these bikes. So, now I was curious because basically Harley Davidson, what they're doing is they're shipping all their bikes as base models, right? So if you were looking for a special or a limited or something like that, then you're going to have to option up to those trim levels, right? So in my case, right, if we're comparing what I like the Dark Horse models. So if I was to compare the Indian Motorcycle Dark Horse to its equivalent over at Harley Davidson, that would be the Special. So that means we're going to have to change a few things here on the screen. So over here at Indian Motorcycle, we're just going to go back up to models. Then I'm going to go to Dark Horse. The Black Smoke is the base version of this bike. So this is the base configuration. For the Harley Davidson, you're going to have to come up here. You're going to have to pick the black. And then we're going to go to customize. And then we're going to come down, down, down. And then right here, you have your special package in black. All right, so we're going to add that on. All right, and it does a little configuration thing there. All right, now, different from the base model of the Challenger, the Dark Horse, you are going to get the engine guards, and you're going to have locking saddlebags. So the base version of the Challenger does not have the locking saddlebags, at least not the remote locking anyways, but the Dark Horse Challenger does. In addition to that, the Dark Horse, you get the black treatment on the, your exhaust and engine components and things like that. But other than that, the Challenger is relatively unchanged, other than those two features, at least from the base model, right? So when you come over here to the Road Glide and you're adding that special package, you're getting a different seat, you're getting a different air cleaner, you're also getting a different pegs and foot controls, and then you also get different grips. Those changes are subtle. I mean, they're slightly different changes. Are you getting more in a change? As far as what you're getting, yes, you're going to have different pieces on the motorcycle, more so than what you do on the Indian Challenger. But I don't think any of this is going to, none of these things are going to change the ride or change the overall look of the bike outside of the pegs and the intake. I think everything else is kind of is what it is. But I mean, you do get more, all right? At least option wise, you get more. So looking at the price as configured, you're going to be $30,999 for the Dark Horse, and you're going to be $29,748 for the Road Glide. Now, when we're talking about those packages for the Road Glide, there's something that you're going to have to keep in mind is that the dealership is essentially going to have these parts either sent to them or in stock. All right. And the parts that go on to make the Road Glide Special the Special, you're going to have to pay for those to get put on unless you do them yourself. If you do them yourself, you're going to save some money. If you have the dealership put it on, you're going to have to add, at least the dealership here in town, I called and asked them what that price would be, and I was quoted around $531, right? So if we factor that $531 into the price of the bike, that is going to take this $29,748.15 up to $30,279 to have that added onto the bike. So what that means is you're going to be around $720 less than what you're going to be on the Dark Horse. And now as a consumer, you're going to have to make that decision as to, assuming that you are focused solely on price, right? That is what's gonna, if you're trying to compare dollars and cents, so to speak. Yes, the Harley Davidson is going to be lower, and some could argue that you're going to get more for that special option than you would get switching from the Challenger to the Challenger Dark Horse. All right. I would caveat that with, yes, you do. However, the actual pieces that come on the Challenger as standard are already above that of what you're getting on the Road Glide. And I know this is subjective. These are my thoughts. This is how I view it. But you get the 122 horsepower. You get the better suspension, in my opinion. You get locking saddlebags. You get that automatic windshield. And not only that, the bike is, for me, is just ergonomically more sound. Because I don't like how short the Road Glide is. It's a very short bike. So the Road Glide has the same wheelbase as the Indian Motorcycle Chief, just to put it into context for you. So the Indian Motorcycle Chief and the Harley Davidson Road Glide, Street Glide, Road King, whatever, they all have that wheelbase or compared to the Indian Motorcycle Chief. And that's why those bikes turn how they turn. But the Challenger and the Roadmaster, the Challenger and the Pursuit are cruising bikes. These are your touring bikes. These are you going long distance, and having that longer wheelbase and that suspension makes a more comfortable ride. And that has been my experience, and that's why I still say that that $700 something is not something that would pull me away from this bike onto that bike. But that's just my opinion. You can obviously make your own opinion based on the information. When you take all of those things into consideration, as far as, the packages and then having to have them installed, that may or may not change your decision. Or, well, I'm not going to say it's going to change your decision. What I'm going to say is that when we're talking about, they've lowered the price of these bikes, yes, at entry level, they may have lowered it from what they were in the past. They did have a lot of complaints about pricing. But when you start getting into specials, limiteds, ST packages, and all those things, you're going to have to look at getting those parts installed. Obviously, unless you're installing it yourself. But I'm just taking this from the point of me as a consumer and what I'm used to purchasing. I'm used to purchasing a Dark Horse. I'm not used to purchasing a base model and then making it a Dark Horse, either waiting on parts, ordering parts, or having a dealership put those on. They come right off the crate with all that stuff already on it. And then you've got the Harleys that, you got that low price point, but now you have to buy the parts and have them put on. All right. So, you can take that information and do with what you want. I think in the spirit of competition between these two brands, especially when it comes to the consumer, I think all of this is going to be good for, whoever's buying these bikes. All right. And I've had people I've been in discussions where people are telling me, oh, well, that's not competition. Harley's not in competition with them. Indian is not in competition with Harley. And I have some pushback on that, because when you look at the King of the Bagger races, that is 100% pure competition. Right. And all of that competition, with the manufacturers trying to get the edge over the other, all of that stuff is filtering down to us as the consumers. To say that is not competition, I think is something that I don't agree with. I think it's competition. I think that it's good competition. And again, like I said, we as consumers get all the benefits from that competition. All right, now we're gonna move from there on to our main story, which is going to be an article that I found on the internet a few days ago. It was on motorcycle.com. And if you've been scouring around the internet like I've been scouring around the internet, you've already heard of some of the reports about this. But first, before I get into this is kind of what led me to finding this article. It was a video by Throttle Blip. where he was talking about the upcoming EPA standards and how those are going to affect motorcycles. All right. And if you want more information about that, you can definitely go check out his page or check out his channel and see what he had to say. He had way more detailed information. I'm just going to give you guys an overview, or at least what I got out of that. And what I got out of that was essentially air-cooled engines are going to be a way of the past. All right. With emissions regulations and all these things, liquid-cooled engines are going to be the way forward. You know, they're more efficient. You can get more power out of a smaller package. And with the way things are going now, you know, everybody's got to get their hand in the pot, right? I think with those EPA restrictions and as they apply to motorcycles, you're going to see, you know, manufacturers starting to make some changes. All right. And like I said, that leads me right into this next topic. And that is an article that I found on motorcycle.com about Indian Motorcycle and the future of what they're going to be bringing to the consumer. So if we look at this page, you're going to see that right here, liquid cooled touring models to have 112 displacement. Now, I think some of the information in this this article got kind of mixed up because it said there's Indian Motorcycles already using the 112, which they're not. It's another company that's using a 112, which is Mad Monkey Motorsports. They've been doing a lot of research and development on this, and Indian Motorcycle does not currently have a 112 engine powering the bikes that you and I can ride, but it does go on to explain some other things as far as like VIN numbers and other things of that nature. Now, all right, so I don't want to do a deep dive into this article by Dennis Chung here. So if you really want to get the ins and outs of this, definitely go in there and check it out. It's a good read, very interesting, got me hyped. But like I said, I think that has direct correlation with what Throttle Blip was talking about with these EPA restrictions. And you can see that Indian Motorcycle is not, they're not waiting for anything to happen. They're trying to be proactive and get ahead of this thing to bring us as consumers these bikes. Now, the article does say that these bikes are going to be slated for the 2025 year model. And I have not heard that officially from, you know, any sources from Indian Motorcycle. Not that I have any. I have not, you know, all of this is based off of this article. I have no idea if any of this is going to happen. And then also what I'm about to say right now, this is all my opinion on it. If it does happen, let's just say this article is true. How would they go about implementing it? All right. So in my mind, I think that the best way to do it is to have basically would do away with the 111, right? And then have every base model for the Springfield, the Roadmaster, the Chieftain, have all of those engines be the base version of a 116, all right? And then once you get into the Dark Horse versions of those models, such as the Chieftain Dark Horse, Chieftain Limited, those motorcycles would have the option for the 108, right? And that goes along with the Roadmasters as well. Now, and the article did not mention the Springfield or the Chief or anything like that. But if they're gonna do this, I would imagine they would do it because the Chieftain and the Chief are the same bike, you know, with a few differences. All right, they use the same frame and all that. But anyway, to me that would make sense. So even going on with the Pursuit and the Challenger, you would have your base Pursuit and Challenger with the 108, and then you would go. Well, there's really no base Pursuit. There's a Pursuit, right? But anyway, those would start out with the 108 engine, and any of your Dark Horse and Limited models would have the option to opt up to the 112. And then for the Elites, those would come standard with the 112, just like the Elites for the just like the Elites for the Chieftain and the Roadmaster would come with the 112 engine. I think that would be the way to go. Now that article doesn't reference, well, it only references the 108 and the 112 because those are the engines that we know about, right? But if you're telling me that you're going to get a Chieftain or a Roadmaster with a 108, 122 horsepower, my goodness. I think that's going to be, that would be wild. I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if any of this is factual, but if it were to happen, I would assume that, there would probably be another engine in between, say, something that the Scout has and the 108, right? So the middle ground between those two, and that's what would be in the Chieftain or the Roadmaster. Now, they could put the 108 in the Chieftain and the Roadmaster. Very well could. Maybe they do like a sport edition of it or something. Or if they, like I just outlined, if they do it that way, I mean, it is what it is, right? And yes, 122 horsepower, but it's not always about power. It's not always about how quick you can get to, 80 miles an hour, right? The thing with power is that your engine is just going to run it's going to run less. It's got to put less effort to do the speed limit, right? Or get up to the speed limit. Or if it comes to the point where you need to pass somebody or something like that. Or if you have somebody on the back, if you're riding two up, you're going to have enough power to get the bike to cruising speeds without having the engine to work so hard, right? And then on top of that, the 108s, once you get them, you get up to speed on the 108s, and even going past the speed limit, the vibration that the engine produces, if you're not used to it, I mean, you're going to notice that. And by using the 112, you're going to have less vibration because, you're having to work a little less. Now, I'm sure it's going to be negligible. You probably won't be able to notice. But I have been told by other people that, that was a deciding factor for them because at high speeds, you're getting that high frequency vibration. All right. And that can be uncomfortable. It can make your hands numb, your feet numb, those types of things. So if this is the way that they go, I would assume that Indian Motorcycle would have some sort of plan in order to either look at that or mitigate it or whatever the case may be. But at any rate, whatever happens, it's going to be really interesting. And another thing about motorcycle.com. So it was around this time last year, or it was last year or the year before. But it was around this time where they were talking about the Pursuit coming out. And sure enough, the Pursuit came out. So I do lend a little bit of credibility to this website. That's where I get, some of my information while I'm doing information gathering. I get my information from there because I found that they're a credible source. And you can make your own opinions as far as the legitimacy of the content that they have on there. But from my experience, they have been pretty credible. So yeah. So with that said, we just got through talking about price between the price comparison between the Road Glide and the Indian Motorcycle Challenger. I mean, I don't even know how the pricing would work if they were to include the 108 and the 112 into these motorcycles. All right, so assuming we have a jump in price, so the CVO, the regular CVO is 44, right? So last year's Elite Pursuit was 40. The CVO ST is 42. So it'll be real interesting to see what happens. I would not, if they give us consumers the the 112 in the Pursuit, you know, don't eliminate anything. Don't reduce the comfort or the comfort items and just give me the engine. I would rather them leave it, you know, leave the comfort items or maybe even add some more and then give me the engine. All right. Because that 112, I mean, I think it's like 150 horsepower or something like that. Like, it's something crazy. It is a really amazing engine, from what I hear. But that way, you know, you don't have to worry about removing those creature comforts. But again, you know, you're getting that confidence, you're getting the engine working less and giving you, you know, everything that you need and then some. So it'll be really interesting how this goes, where the pricing is going to be and how long it's going to take for me to get one. Because I got my eyes out on that thing, man. Oh, my goodness. I'm definitely looking at getting an Elite. I can't let Mrs. Finesse have all the fun with the Elite. Because everywhere we go, man, I tell you, every bike we get, man, everybody always wants to look at her bike. She had the Icon, where I didn't have the Icon, and then I got the Pursuit Premium. Then she gets the Elite. Like, she's just one-upping me, man. What's up with that? So anyway, be sure to comment down below. I would love to know what you guys think about the Roadmaster Elite. Are you going to get one? Also, what do you think about the comparison between, at least as far as the price goes? Once I get the Daytona, I'm going to do a full ride review, assuming we have good weather. But let me know what you guys think about the price comparison, or what Harley is doing with their models compared to what Indian Motorcycle is doing with theirs. And then, of course, I need to know what you guys think about the possibility of having a 108 or a 112 on your Chieftain, Roadmaster, Challenger, or Pursuit. Oh, I tell you what I think, man. I say yes to it all. But anyways, put it down in the comments below. I'll check you guys out. Definitely check out Primal Graphics, veteran-owned company. They do some really good work. Evident there, they won a trophy there at the show, and we got another good day of weather today. I mean, you know, it's South Georgia, I get it, but we got another good day of weather, so I got to get out of here and get on the bike, and just like that, man, ride every day, and most importantly, make sure you're enjoying it. Peace.